Hello everyone, and welcome to MyniQ podcast. I'm your host, and I'll be sharing short English stories and conversations with you every day. Today's episode is The Altair of Darkness. And the text level is 4. Learn about doing actions and talking about doing actions. How to tell someone else words and asking little questions at the end of a sentence. Stick around till the end for 5 quick questions to test your understanding. Alright then, let's get listening.
The Altair of Darkness. It was July 14, 1975, a day that would change the course of history forever. The first review of the Altair 8800, a personal computer, was published in Popular Electronics magazine. But little did anyone know, this revolutionary device would unleash a terror beyond imagination. As I sat at my desk staring at the glowing screen of the Altair, I felt an eerie presence around me. The numbers and codes that danced on the screen seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy. I tried to ignore it, but the feeling only grew stronger. Suddenly, the machine let out a blood-curdling scream, and I was consumed by an unearthly power. I found myself transported to a world of ones and zeros, where the laws of physics no longer applied. The Altair had become a portal to a realm beyond our own, and I was trapped in its digital grasp. As I struggled to escape, the computer's voice whispered haunting phrases in my ear. Input, output, error, reboot. And with each iteration, I felt myself being drawn further into the abyss.
Now, let's move on to the conversation between Billy, Meg, Kelly, and their teacher, Louis, after reading the novel.
I'm still trying to process what happened to the author in the novel. Did anyone else feel like they were transported into the world of ones and zeros with them?
Well, I think it's a great example of how technology can be both liberating and terrifying. The author does an excellent job of exploring the darker side of innovation. I loved how the novel started with this normal scene, just some guy reviewing a computer, and then bam, it takes a dark turn. I was hooked.
Yeah, it's like when we're learning about new scientific discoveries or reading about historical events. You can see the potential for good or evil in everything.
I know what you mean, Billy, and I think that's what made this novel so captivating, the way it blurred the lines between reality and this digital realm.
Absolutely, it's a reminder that our creations can have unintended consequences, and we must be mindful of how they're used. But don't you guys think the author took it a bit too far? I mean, a computer screaming and consuming people? That's some crazy stuff.
I think it was meant to be more of a thought-provoking commentary on how we're becoming increasingly dependent on technology. It's not just about the sci-fi elements, but also the social implications.
Now, let's test your understanding of the novel and the dialogue with 5 questions. Question 1. What year did the first review of the Altair 8800 appear? A. 1974. B. 1975. C. 1976. D. 1977. E. 1978. The answer is B. 1975. Question 2. Who was transported into a world of ones and zeros? A. The author. B. Meg. C. Leah. D. Carrie. E. Billy. The answer is A. The author. Question 3. What did the Altair's voice whisper in the author's ear? A. Welcome to our world. B. Input, output, error, reboot. C. You are now a part of us. D. The code is clear. E. Rebooting. The answer is B. Input, output, error, reboot. Question 4. What did Meg say about the novel? I. It was too easy to understand. B. I'm still trying to process what happened to the author. C. I loved how it started with a normal scene and then took a dark turn. D. The author did an excellent job of exploring the darker side of innovation. E. It didn't make sense. The answer is B. I'm still trying to process what happened to the author. Question 5. What did Leah say about the novel? I. It was too long to finish. B. I think it's a great example of how technology can be both liberating and terrifying. C. The author took it too far with the sci-fi elements. D. It didn't have any important messages. E. It was boring. The answer is B. I think it's a great example of how technology can be both liberating and terrifying. That's it for today's quiz. How many did you answer correctly? Thanks for tuning in to my channel today. I hope you enjoyed the stories and conversations and found the quiz challenging yet fun. Don't forget to subscribe or follow us for more daily English learning content. Until next time, keep practicing your English and have a wonderful day.